Slimehouse TV, I'm just here with my man John Jarrett. We're at HorrorCon Uk 2017. How are you finding the con so far?
Con's great, and I'm not your man.
Not your man.
He's just my man,
Oh,
John
I
Jarrett.
thought we connected so close over the 2 days.
You know.
We ate M&Ms together.
Oh, is that modern talk, is it? Is that
Yeah.
cool?
But we're here with him. How are you finding the con so far?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's good. I had a lot of fun, yeah.
Are you finding is this the first con you've done in Britain?
Yeah, in Britain, yeah. And it's the first time been in the north, too. I've been to London a few times.
That was filming and stuff?
Yeah, and promoting and stuff. But I've never been to the north.
How do you find the British convention fans to everywhere else that you've been?
Great. I mean, the Sheffield people are really warm folk, you know, really lovely people. I've had a good time. They like a joke.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
like a bit of a giggle.
Yeah. You like to break people's balls a lot. You like to call them cunts, pommy cunts and everything.
Yeah, I do, yeah. Well, you are. So it's
technically.
Simple. No, not technically. You are.
Yeah.
You're pommy cunts.
We're teaching each other swear words.
Yeah.
And lingo.
That's been fun.
And I taught you
You're
what
right.
Mardy means.
You're right. See, I know a bit. What's the other one? Sound. This is a sound show. This is sound show.
Sound, mate.
Fucking great. No, I went Scottish there for a minute.
I'm
all over the bloody place.
You're good at accents. You do lots all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, to say that you've not been around Sheffield people that long, you picked up the accent like that as soon as I met you.
Yeah, picked it up because we're around there, aren't we?
Scottish again.
Fucking hell. I'm trying. You do an Aussie accent then. Go on.
Fucking pommy cunt.
Fucking pommy cunt.
It's not bad, that.
No, fucking pommy cunt.
Fucking
Widen the mouth out. I can't.
Well, you were telling me that you were teaching Quentin Tarantino how to do the Australian accent good when you worked in Django. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Well, yeah, he was really good. When you see Django again, listen to his Aussie accent after he fucks up the first 3 words. Because I wasn't there for the first 3 words. He gets off a horse and he says to Jamie Foxx, "Shut up, Blick. Blick." And we say black, just like Americans say black.
Sounded like a South African.
Yeah, sounded like a South African. So it was straight out the bloody door. And from that point on, no one thought he could do the Aussie accent. But he's not too bad for the rest of it. But as soon as he said, "Shut up, Blick," so I smacked him around when I met him again. I said, "You idiot."
How did that come about, the cameo in Django? Did Quentin just get in touch?
Oh, Quentin Tarantino got off the plane in 2003 before Wolf Creek and said, "I want to meet John Jarrett. He's my favorite Australian actor." Just like that.
Yeah.
And
I thought you were in room them for a second.
Yeah.
Very good.
You thought he was here, didn't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I met him in Circular Quay and we had a drink. And he's a film nerd. He loves Aussie movies. He knows more about Aussie movies than I do. And we had a great night. And he talked about all sorts of things Australian. He loves Mad Max. You know, that's kind of what set him off into his career. He just loved what they did in Mad Max.
And you've worked with Mel as well?
I gave Mel his first job.
Really?
Yeah. He was a drama student. And Steve Bisley, who played the Goose in Mad Max.
Mm-hmm.
And I got him auditions for this film I did called Summer City, and they both got the part. So, yeah, I did my first film with those guys.
What are your earliest memories of wanting to be an actor? Like, how did you make that step from wanting to be an actor and then starting getting movie roles?
Oh, I lived in central Queensland in the middle of the outback, bumfuck nowhere as we call it in Australia. And I did a concert, and the headmaster came up to me, this is Longreach High School, and he said, "Jarrett, I thought you were good for nothing except upsetting the class, but turns out I think you could be an actor." And I said, "Don't you have to be born in Hollywood to be an actor?" You know, Marlon Brando and all those guys. I said, "No, anyone can be an actor." So that sowed the seed for the idea. And then my mate, Chris Cummings, who I played football with in Townsville, I was in Townsville by then, he was going to NIDA, which is the National Institute of Dramatic Art.
All right.
And I tagged along with him and I got in, and I kind of fell into it. Yeah.
So you'd done acting for a long time in lots of different stuff, but it was Wolf Creek where, that's the reason you're here today, because of Wolf Creek. That's when people really started to recognise you as a face of the horror genre.
Yeah.
So what would your advice be to people now that maybe are still acting and maybe they're struggling to get the roles that they want? What would your advice be to them?
What, young actors starting out?
Or young actors, or people that have been at it a while and still aren't getting that
look,
break?
I got no magic formula for any of it. Number one, if you want to be an actor, you got to be able to act. It's a bit like if you want to be a painter, you've got to be able to paint. So not just anybody can be an actor. You either got it or you ain't. And I think if you've been doing it for 10 or 20 years, you'd know whether you got it or you haven't, and whether it's worthwhile hanging around and waiting for another spike in your career, you know. But I've had some tough times when I haven't been getting any work, and I've had times when I'm never out of work. But it's just a question of hanging in there and believing in yourself and believing in your talent.
And how'd you prepare for those kind of roles? Like, Mick Taylor, for example, your most iconic role, without a doubt. How'd you prepare for that kind of role? I know from meeting you just for this weekend, you're that guy that you like to joke, you like to say sick things and do crazy things. You're that guy. Like, how'd you prepare? Is there a lot of Mick in that, or?
Well, I learned all my craziness from my dad, who's a mad, very funny, robust, outback kind of bloke. And we lived in the bush all our lives. And my dad's 5'8" and about 15 stone of blood and muscle. He was a tough guy, but he's also a funny guy and a very quick-witted guy, and he's a lovely bloke. Tough bastard, and you know it wasn't easy growing up with him. So basically, Mick Taylor is an impersonation of my dad, who had a very deep voice. That's why I do the gravelly, you know. And we've just added psychopath and serial killer to the mix. Of course, Dad wasn't any of that. Yeah. And that's how I came up with Mick Taylor, you know.
Because it's funny, like, watching you in the film, you're unrecognisable to what you look like in real life. Like, when you're acting as that character, you don't look like you do now. I would have never walked past you in the street and thought that were you.
Well, my wife reckons that I don't wear any makeup or anything, but when I play Mick, I just hold my face in a different way. Really? I don't know. I can't understand it. But so when I go, well, I'll show you. I can tell you.
That's it. That's the look. Yeah. And you shave this bit. You keep the chops.
That's right.
That's right.
What are you fucking going to ask me now?
We're going to ask you about your production company, directing. I don't know if I want to know.
Well, I can tell you. I might have to kill you. Yeah, so I hold
just
my
don't
face.
Kill me today. I've got so much to do.
Hold the face very different.
Yeah, he can hold it, and he can hold that good. That's a professional actor. Don't break character. Don't smile.
Yeah, that's the. I just went into it straight away. Yeah, that's the difference between a method actor and a professional actor. I'm a professional actor.
So before we talk about your production company, tell me about preparing for the role, because you like to hit the gym. You were telling me about you got like a 16-week program.
Yeah, well, I'm 65 now, so I have to work like hell to get the guns back up. So it's a 16-week process of a lot of curls. Pumping them
every day.
Yeah, and I got to stay fit. Well, it has kept me fit. It kept me healthy and fit, playing the role for 15 years now.
Do you do that in general? Because every time this weekend I was like, do you want a sandwich? You were like, yeah, but only if it's healthy. Do you want a drink? Only if it's healthy. Is that just you in general, or is that when you're preparing for a role?
No, that's always.
Basically, are you preparing for a role?
Yeah, well, because the older you get, my dad used to say, the older you get, you have to keep giving up things. You know, you give up drinking, you give up drugs, you give up not sleeping, you give up sleeping around with other people's wives. You give up eating shit and sugar and salt, and the last thing you give up is breathing.
Yeah.
You try and stay young.
So let's talk a bit about your production that you did. Like, you've done a bit of directing. Do you want to just tell me a bit about how that came around? Yeah,
well, I got a film company, and we put a film together called Stalk Her, and which is a two-hander, two people, and my production company was putting it together. And the reason I became a director for the first time was we were going through the budget as an actor, as a producer, I should say. Yeah. And we got to director and went across and I said, we're paying them how much? So I'll direct it. So I couldn't afford to pay somebody, so I thought I'd better direct it. So I never had any inkling or desire to be a director up till then. But then having done it, I now have a passion for it. I want to do it more.
So you've got some more stuff in that you're preparing to get out there.
Yeah.
What do you find the difference between turning up to a set where you've just got to act and have fun, and then the stress of having to coordinate all the chaos and get something filmed and directed? I think it's so much harder myself. Like,
well, it's just from the minute you wake up till you go to bed.
Your brain's just buzzing.
You
can't switch off.
Get up in the morning, and especially when you're an actor director, you get up in the morning and you got to go through all the crap from about 7 different departments with all their problems. And then you go into the production office, talk to the producer and the production manager, and then you get on set and you try and turn all that off and become a director and an actor. And you do that all day, and that's pretty solid. Haven't got 5 minutes to yourself because you've got to direct the other person. You can't go and sit down in between takes. And then you go to the production office after you wrap. Then you go home. Then you learn your lines. Then you set yourself up for the next day. And that's exhausting. It's very exhausting.
Do you have any particular times when you were filming that where you really struggled to get something done, and how did you overcome that?
Well, my biggest trouble is that I wanted to have a nana nap about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes I got really, really tired because it was exhausting. And the character I played, there were so many lines I had to have that in my head. And it wasn't so much a lack of sleep, it was just I just worked so hard that I got really tired. So that was a bit of a bummer. Some lunch times, instead of having lunch, I just had to sleep. Yeah, to get the energy up again.
Well, I look forward to see what you got coming out next. What have you got anything coming out next, and where can people keep up to date with what you're doing?
Okay, well, I'm doing another series of Wolf Creek in July, August. Where
Wicked. So there's another series of that coming
Series
out.
2, and that'll be out in the UK in early next year, I'd say. Out in Australia late this year. And I got a film called Boar, which is about a huge pig the size of a rhinoceros. And that's been picked up by Universal, and that's going to be released.
That's finished?
Yeah, that's finished. That's going to be released at the end of the year in Australia and all around the rest of the world in 2018. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a bloody big pig. And go to the cinema, because you don't want to watch a huge pig coming at you on a television screen.
No, you want it on the big screen,
You
the
do.
IMAX.
Yeah.
3D running towards you.
Absolutely.
That's it. So yeah, you've got the Wolf Creek series. You've got series. So you've got another series of Wolf Creek coming out. Is there anything else we can look forward to seeing Mick Taylor in?
Well,
it says that Wolf Creek 3 on IMDb.
Yeah, well, that was every year we got to find out whether they're going to pick up the series again. So we got to keep our options open. But they said they want to do another series. If they want to do a series 3, we'll have to hold off the movie because can't have two things out at once.
Yeah.
So I'd say series 3 will just about knock it on the head. I don't want to do another one after that. And then we'll do the third movie.
Ready for the movie.
And I think I'll be ready for the retirement home by then.
Do you reckon? Mick Taylor with a Zimmer frame.
Yeah, in a Zimmer frame.
That's the last one.
No, one of those carts with the what do you call it? With the floodlights on them.
Oh yeah.
Going down the footpath,
That's
right? That's it. And you turns left and you widen out and it says the Outback Old People's Home, and he goes in there and takes all the old people out.
I love that guy. I hope they don't get to that point. I just wanted to ask you finally, obviously, we didn't even talk about it, but you've released a book, you're directing, you've acted in numerous things, so you're writing and stuff. How important is it to you just to keep going and keep bringing stuff out and keep trundling on?
Well, I really enjoy it. So I still get up every morning. I'm very lucky. I'm in a profession that I really love. And I love all aspects of filmmaking. And it's good to be at an age where you're putting back and still doing the acting thing. So it's an absolute joy for me to get up and do it. So whenever I'm fit and well and healthy enough to do it, I'll do it because it's what I want to do. It's not a chore.
Wicked. Well, it's been wicked to have you. It's an honour to sit and have a chat with you, mate. I'm a big fan, and I hope you come back to HorrorCon another time.
Yeah.
Definitely. Come back to HorrorCon again, because the fans love you.
I like you Sheffield people.
He likes the Sheffield people. That's good to know. And you want a statue of Jarvis?
I want a statue of Joe Cocker. Yeah, he's a legend. One of the greatest rock stars ever. Where's the big bronze statue? Where are you all celebrating it?
Fucking sort it
Just
out.
Just sort it. Get the council and say, I want a fucking statue of Joe Cocker in the pose, little help from me friends. Do something. He's a legend and you're not even bloody celebrating him. I'm angry.
He's angry. This has been Slimehouse TV. You're a huge star. I want a statue of you before we have one of that guy anyway.
Yeah, but you're a bit weird.
So, weird people are the best people.
I'm your man.
Weird people are the best people. It's been Slimehouse TV. If you want to get tickets for HorrorCon next year, it's www.horrorconventions.co.uk and slimehousetv.com to check out all the other episodes. But I'm Theo and that's John Jarrett, and this has been Slimehouse TV. Boom.
You're right.